This used to be me.
May have missed Beyonce's Los Angeles Renaissance film premiere, but it looks like she might make it to the London premiere.
What was I supposed to do again? Oh yeah, study. Oh. Okay, let's study. Focus! I went from not being able to concentrate for more than 10 minutes without checking TikTok or Instagram to now being able to deeply focus for 1, 2, even 3 hours and complete difficult, complex tasks without getting distracted by social media or any other environmental factors. And here is how. In a world of constant notifications, endless to-do lists, and distractions upon distractions, staying focused for a long period of time can feel impossible, but I promise you it's not. In this video, I'm going to share with you how you can train your golden fish brain to concentrate for long periods of time in order to finally beat procrastination and get things done. It's almost the new year, guys. We're not gonna let another year pass by without accomplishing our goals and achieving our dreams. So in this video, I'm gonna share with you 10 evidence-based tips that you can use to be more productive, achieve deep focus, and concentrate better. So without any further ado, let's get into it. First things first. Before we even get into this video and start talking about the tips, we need to talk about something very important first. Your environment. The foundation of your productivity. The place that you use to study, work, get things done in. I think that I don't need to go too much into detail about explaining why having a clean, distraction-free, and organized environment is super important in order to be able to deeply focus. But let's flex some numbers just in case. So according to a scientific survey conducted by Staples, poor working conditions at the workplace, such as bad lighting, too much noise, too hot or too cold room temperatures, can cause severe drops in employees' productivity. It can even hinder their productivity by even 85% sometimes. 85%, like that's a big percentage. So there are many different things that can contribute to our productivity, but the one thing that all scientists seem to agree on is the fact that creating an environment that is optimized for deep focus, concentration, and productivity is like half of the battle. So here is a mini checklist for you that you can use as an inspiration to create a distraction-free, productivity-enhancing space for yourself. So let's see what you have to do. Pick a designated workspace and try to work only there in order to associate this space only with productive activities. When you have a dedicated workspace and you only work or revise there, you actually wire your brain for productivity whenever you are in that space. Put your phone on airplane mode for the duration of your work sessions and put it away somewhere where you cannot see it. I advise you to put your phone in the cupboard, your closet, or under a pillow. This is literally what I do. Every single time I want to be in the zone and I really want to focus, I put my phone on airplane mode and I put it under my pillow, and it works wonders. It never failed me. Clean up your desk and get rid of the clutter before you start working in order to reduce visual distractions. Use noise-canceling headphones, AirPods, or even earplugs in order to eliminate outside noises. Prioritize working in natural light. I know that this one can be quite tricky, especially in the winter, but still try to get most of your work done while the sun is still up, because it actually enhances your focus and also your mood. Add plants to your environment to boost your mood. And finally, make sure that the room temperature in your work environment is neither too hot or too cold, and also make sure to keep yourself hydrated while working. I feel like in recent years, multitasking has become more and more popular, and I always feel like people who multitask a lot seem to be very proud of the fact that they can do 100 million things all at the same time. But according to scientists, multitasking does not work, and multitasking actually decreases productivity instead of increasing it. I know, it's shocking. I was shocked when I found out, but multitasking doesn't work and multitasking doesn't count for being more productive. And the reason for that is that when you multitask, meaning you start one thing, you stop after 5 minutes, you start another thing, You stop after 5 minutes. When you're doing this, you're literally forcing your brain to quickly switch between tasks, which actually tires your brain out a lot and makes you even less efficient at whatever you're doing. Not only this, but according to scientists, people who multitask can actually become more prone to making errors and being more distractible, even outside of working. So if you have noticed that you're someone who might have become a little bit more easily distractible and you have a hard time focusing on anything, even when you're not working, you might be someone who is multitasking a lot, consciously or even unconsciously. Long story short, eliminating multitasking is actually extremely important to achieve those deep levels of concentration that we all want. So I really advise you that if you have a hard time to just focus on one thing, to stop looking at your phone while you're working, put your phone away, put it on airplane mode. You can also schedule a set time in your calendar for the different tasks that you have throughout the day and just only focus on those whenever you're working. And the cliche one, you can also practice being more mindful in the moment, being more aware of your physical presence, which is something I like to do whenever I feel very distracted by outside things. I like to stay focused on my body, focusing on my breath a lot, and just really trying to focus on the one thing that's right in front of me without letting my mind go to all of these different places, which can be hard, but it's a practice. So no more multitasking. If you notice that you're someone who gets distracted easily and you have a really hard time focusing, it could also be because you just haven't set a clear goal for yourself for your day, for the things you have to do, and you just don't have a clear sense of direction in the work that you have to do. I think that sometimes when we're really busy and we have a lot of things to do all at the same time, we can get lost and overwhelmed really easily. And it's in those moments when we are already feeling very overwhelmed and lost that we can get distracted super easily. So that's why it's so important to set clear goals for your day. If you want to boost your concentration and productivity, I want you to, before you even start to get things done and do your work, to make a daily to-do list of the 5 most important things that you have to get done for the day. Companies do this all the time with their employees. I remember when I used to work at a company, we had a daily meeting at the beginning of the day at like 9:30, and we would basically just tell each other the 3 most important things that we're gonna get done for the day. And it's something that actually works super well even if you're not working in a company. Prioritizing tasks. Okay, so if we talk about setting goals, we also have to talk about prioritizing tasks, which is equally as important. So important. I think that we can all agree that not everything that we have to get done in a day has the same importance. There are always gonna be things that are more urgent and important to get done than other things. And so in order to stay on track and not get distracted by, again, less important things, you have to do a priority list. Okay, so sorry for the bare face, low effort, bare minimum appearance, but while I was editing this video, I realized that I didn't add the part where I explained to you how to prioritize your tasks. So we're gonna do that now using Notion. I'm not sponsored by Notion, by the way. I would love to, but I'm not. And this method was taught to me by my old manager at my old French company. So you're gonna take Notion. If you don't have Notion, download Notion. It's like the best thing ever if you wanna be more productive and organize your life better. And to create our task list, we're gonna go to Notion. We're gonna click to add a page. You're gonna name it task list, and you're gonna click on templates. Now you can either use the to-do list template, or the one that is a little bit more elaborated is the projects and tasks template. So we're gonna use that one because this one is a little bit more detailed. You're gonna click on get template, and we're gonna start personalizing it. I like to use the all tasks format. I think this one is a little bit more easier to understand than the by project or board format. So we're gonna start adding our own tasks. I'm gonna delete these ones. Delete. So we're gonna start with the first one. I don't know, Christmas gift shopping, YouTube video editing, YouTube video publishing, job applications, do groceries. Yeah, that should do it because that's already 5 tasks. So those are gonna be the 5 tasks that I have to get done for the day. And then you basically just organize the tasks based on how important they are. So to do that, you go to priority, Christmas gift shopping. That's pretty important because Christmas is coming up. So you click on hi. YouTube video editing, that's also important. So I'm gonna click on hi too. Hi. Job applications, I'm in medium, and do groceries, I'm in low. I still have food in the fridge. And then you can also adjust the status of your tasks. So Christmas gift shopping, for me it's already in progress, YouTube video editing in progress. And then you can also add like the deadline of the tasks. So I don't know, 24th of December, that's for today. That's for today too. And then you just basically adjust your list in order of importance. So you can go to sort ascending or sort descending. So I click here sort descending so I can see the most important things to get done at the top of my list. And yeah, that's pretty much it. It's super easy if you have collaborators working on your projects. You can also add people. Like here, I could add my boyfriend, and here it's only me. So I'm just gonna add myself. That's pretty much it. That's how I like to prioritize my tasks using Notion. Again, not sponsored by Notion, but I generally love them a lot. I think they're great. I hope that this helped. And now let's get back to the video. Okay, so the next method is probably my favorite one, and it is the time blocking technique. I think that sometimes when we are procrastinating or putting things off for a long period of time, we don't realize how much time we actually waste. And so the time blocking technique is a great way to remind ourselves that time is actually ticking and time is running out and we're gonna die one day. I'm someone who's very aware of time. I'm very like time conscious, and I'm also very aware of death. I'm very aware of the fact that we are gonna die one day and that we only get to have a limited time on this earth. And so I like to use time as a reminder that if I want to get things done, it's better now than later. So basically the way that I use the time boxing technique is just before I start working, I evaluate the amount of time that I think I need in order to get things done. And I just basically put a timer on my phone for the amount of time that I think the task will take me. So for example, if I were to film for a YouTube video, I would evaluate that would probably take me like an hour to do so. So before I start filming, I put a timer for 1 hour on my phone, and I just put my phone on airplane mode and I just start filming. I don't know, I just feel like when there's like a time ticking, when there's like a clock that is ticking, I just feel so much more motivated to get to the end of things and finish off them quickly. And this leads me perfectly to my next point, which is the reward system. Okay, so we just talked about time boxing, right? But what I didn't tell you is that the time boxing technique actually comes with a reward system. I'm personally someone who needs a lot of motivation to get anything done. If there is no instant gratification at the end, I'm not even gonna do it. And so in order to keep myself motivated and on point, I like to reward myself after every task I complete. So the way it looks like is that whenever I finish a time boxing session and I completed a task that I had to do that was on my to-do list, I reward myself with either like a snack I really like, usually something sweet, or with even watching like a YouTube video or watching like 15 minutes of like a Netflix series, something like that. You can use anything that is dear to your heart. I personally really like to eat sweets. So rewarding yourself actually is really good to keep yourself motivated, and this is also kind of like positive reinforcement, which will help you to like repeat these productive behaviors. I think that the one thing you have to look out for is not using this reward system as kind of like a punishment for yourself. Like, don't use it in a way where it's like, oh, I only get to eat lunch if I finish writing this essay. It's more of like a bonus. It's not a punishment. It's like, I already had lunch, but if I finish this task, I also get to have dessert. But yeah, I think that the reward system can be a really fun way to focus and get things done, because sometimes the motivation is just not there. She cannot be found. Okay, so just as prioritizing tasks is important, so is prioritizing people and events in our life. We all have 24 hours in a day and only a limited amount of energy to do the things that we really want to do. Sometimes in order to achieve certain goals, get to where we want to be, we will be obligated to cut off some people and some events in our life. So I really advise you for the next year to start being very selective to the things you say yes to. Just overall the things that take up your time and energy, and start selecting only the ones that actually really contribute to you getting to where you want to be in your life. Learning to say no to people and to things is so important in order to stay on track, stay focused, and achieve the things we want to achieve. I have people in my life who sometimes feel offended by the fact that I don't message them back right away. I already had people even like asking me why am I not looking at their Instagram story, like, and I'm just like, I just don't have the time to focus on what others are doing. Like, my mission in life is not to be replying to messages all day long and watching every single one of my friends' Instagram stories. It's so easy to get off track these days and to get distracted by what everybody else is doing. It's nice to have friends, it's nice to have people in your life. I really value my human relationships as well, but ultimately nobody else is responsible for what you achieve in your life. Nobody will be there holding your hand, helping you to get into college, to get a job, to open a business. Nobody will do those things for you. So unless your friends are paying your bills and paying for your expenses, you don't owe anybody anything. The only people you actually owe something is yourself, and the only thing you owe to yourself is to create a life that you're happy in. So if you have friends, people, jobs, events, environments that are just wasting your time, wasting your energy, are constantly bringing you down, it's time to let them go. And it's your responsibility to wake up tomorrow, get the things done you have to get done, and create a life for yourself that you're actually proud of. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you found it helpful. And if you want to know how I went from a failing student to straight A student, make sure to watch this video next.